Big fluff.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel Murphy.
And I'm Andy McIntyre.
And this is Silver Linings Playback, the podcast where we watch maligned movies and we find their silver linings. Usually.
But it's 2025, and as we start every year, we take a look back at all of the $1 million ideas that we come up with while watching the show, or while watching the movies, recording the show, and want Hollywood to just holler at your boys.
Yeah, look, we've been pretty chill about it. We like to come up with ideas. They usually happen organically. We end up pitching. You'll hear throughout the show, a lot of people, our guests, like to get involved in it too. And it's we was gonna say that, holler at your boys, and it's a fun thing. But Hollywood, been doing this for 4 years now. What are you doing? You guys aren't doing great. Leaving money on the table.
And you don't even have to pay us a lot.
Yeah, we'll work for scale. I'm not I shouldn't put that out there, but we will.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. If you pay us, we will write movies that will be good, that people will watch.
Yep. So do that. Also, this is fun. This is the first, this past year, 2024 was the first year that we started doing video, but we didn't start doing it until episode 200. So if you're watching the video version of this, it'll be interesting. Kind of have a little fun thing for, as you'll see, for the parts there where we didn't have video, but also you'll get to see us figure out the video as the clips go along. You'll see us get slightly better at it week to week. So
as we evolve into being YouTubers, because that's what we are now.
Just like our hero, The Undertaker. We're YouTubers.
We are a YouTube podcast, just like The Undertaker.
Yep. And so I think without further ado, this is it. These are our pitches for 2024. The police dogs, they kind of make a Hitler joke, so they understand who Hitler is, the dogs.
Well, I mean, Hitler had a dog, so that makes sense. There's in
the dog community, it's known. But the dog understood what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's from Norm Macdonald's penultimate comedy special is called Hitler's Dog.
Right.
And it talks about how Hitler, objectively the worst human being that's ever lived, but his dog loved him.
Yeah. Which has the potential to be the weirdest film in the Zone of Interest cinematic universe. Is a movie that just focuses on Hitler's dog, not being aware of the atrocities happening around it.
God, are we pitching a talking dog movie about Hitler's dog?
No.
Is that where we're at?
No, we're discussing it. I'm not pitching it.
Okay. Just let's make that very clear. We are discussing the concept and possibilities. We are not suggesting that it would be an entertaining piece of cinema that could be entertaining.
There's nothing
is controversial, guys.
Look, there's nothing in the rule book that says that you can't make this movie.
Oh, man.
But I will not. Look, I'm not writing it. I'm not putting my name on it.
We're not making Meinhund. That's not a movie that's happening.
Oh, no.
It's not a thing.
No. And don't make it a thing.
Well, don't worry, guys. It ends the same way as Strays.
That's true. Yeah. Look, honestly, you know what? I think I might be coming back around if we're going to Tarantino it and we're rewriting the ending.
Is that he didn't shoot himself? That
the dog
did shoot himself, but it's because
okay.
Yeah.
And not because the Allies are closing in, but because the dog
bites his dick off. Yeah. And he's actually getting the gun to try to shoot his dog. But then the friends that Hitler's dog made come in and pin his arm down, and he accidentally shoots himself.
He makes friends with a British dog who's like, no, I've got to tell you some things.
Okay, now I'm back. Now I'm writing it.
Okay, now we're in. now we're back in.
directors, let people have chairs.
Yeah, just let them have chairs.
Let them have chairs on your set, Nolan. I don't know what you're doing. And look, Bradley Cooper, you're just doing it because Nolan did it. And we know that.
Yep, 100%.
So let people have chairs. Just that's my public service announcement for the week. People should be able to sit.
You know what? From the highest king to the lowliest peasant, who doesn't enjoy a good sit?
Exactly. Also, people are on movie sets for 12 hours.
Yeah, those are long ass days.
Yeah, let them sit.
Let them have a seat. Let them take a load off.
Look, when we start making movies, it's going to be
any
hard.
day now.
Yeah, any day now. That phone's going to start ringing. But you're going to have trouble standing because you're not going to be able to walk 3 feet without a chair.
Be so many chairs. It's going to be all head and bus shots because there's just chairs everywhere.
We're just going to have risers set up.
Yeah, just bleachers all around the set as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
Bleachers.
Yeah, you will never not be able to sit down on our set.
If you want to have a seat, you can have a seat.
We're going to try to get some of those chair pants from Jury Duty. Like that. Yeah. Just nothing but chairs.
If someone doesn't have a chair, we're going to have one of those folding camp chairs and just set it in front, set it down.
And look, if you find yourself standing on our set and you want to sit down and you call for a chair, it's going to be like that Cactus Jack, Terry Funk moment from ECW where
just a chair riot.
Yeah,
everything
30 chairs just
ring.
raining in at you. That's our promise.
It's going to be like that scene in Knocked Up where they're just marveling at all the chairs in the hotel room. That's how many chairs we're going to have.
Yeah. No, you're going to love it.
So if that doesn't get the phones ringing from actors and, crew, at least.
And look, like Lazy Boy, if you want to sponsor our next movie.
Yeah, why not? Park a lounger, whatever.
Yeah, we'll take it. Eames, can we get an Eames chair? I really want an Eames chair.
Those are good chairs.
Yeah, I've always wanted one. They're very classic.
Brookstone, you make chairs.
Brookstone, even like some folding chairs, whatever. Camp chairs, we'll take them.
Yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah. One of those
REI, you have chairs that you sell?
One of those ones with the cup holder?
Yeah.
That's sitting, baby. I mean, I don't have a twin. I don't know what it's like. But if you ever want to picture what it's like for your twin to have sex, film yourself having sex, I guess.
With a wig on.
Yeah.
or style your hair a little different and then film yourself having sex with your partner.
Yeah. I don't know. If any twins
and then send those tapes care of Silver Linings Playback.
If any twins are listening, please hit us up. Let us know if you've imagined your twin.
If there's any twins that have been cuckolded by their twin, let us know how mad that made you.
This is our pivot to a Jerry Springer style podcast where now we just have like the
just chaos,
the freak of the week chaos, and we get two twins on to be like, he pretended to be me and she didn't know.
But then she told me she did know and she liked it even more.
Oh yeah, she knew because my penis is bigger.
No, it ain't, Charles. No, it ain't.
They're identical.
They're the same penis. When you have an orgasm, I feel it too, because we're Corsican.
Just like them G.I. Joe characters.
Tomax and Zaymot.
Which is what I say before I come. This should be an underwater heist, and like
With
for
the
sure,
Navy?
Underwater bank robbery.
Yeah,
I would watch that movie.
that'd be good. Like an so it's like they have to break into the lost city of Atlantis to get some gold.
Don't share this idea here. People are listening. No, this could be your idea.
But I'm trying to get you to invest. That's why I'm hoping you want in on the ground floor.
And most importantly, it's one of them's last big score, and then they're walking away.
No, they're swimming away.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
It's the Navy.
But then one of them has to meet a mermaid that gets them to slow down, and they consider giving up this life of crime, to continue to live in Atlantis.
But also curse their family.
This sounds fishy.
In Depression-era North Carolina, the barren wife, Jennifer Lawrence, of an ambitious timber baron, Bradley Cooper, sets out to murder the woman who bore her husband an illegitimate son.
That's a bad description of the movie.
That is not what the movie's about.
Also, was that Baron and Baron? Was that like Baron as in she can't have a child and Baron as in tycoon?
So
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just tracking it home because she can't have kids and he is a businessman.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Baron wife of the Baron.
The Baron
That would
Baron.
be a better title.
The Baron Baron. Yeah.
The Baron Baron.
Yeah.
The Baron Baroness.
And then
I feel like that's a title. We need to just work backwards from the title, the Baron Baroness.
I also kind of like, what if it was, you know, because she does some terrible things in this, which I think kind of ruins her reputation or stains it. So what if it was the Baron stain? The Baron stain bearer, and that's it. The Baron stained Baroness.
Baroness.
We did it.
Yes. And there is a bear in this movie.
You know what? Everything else is gravy because we found the silver lining.
God, could you imagine a bucket list? It's the exact same movie, except it's Lucius Fox and the Joker.
That's more like it, Mr. Joker. Yeah. Also,
wait till they get a load of me.
Oh my God. Okay, look, James Gunn, if you're listening, the Joker's bucket list is 100% a movie that we should write. You've already made 2 Joker movies with Joaquin Phoenix. Just let Andy and I write a movie where the Joker thinks he's dying and he has a list of things he wants to do before he dies.
Oh, that sounds like a Frank Miller comic. The Joker's bucket list. Like that sounds like very like 80s Frank Miller.
Because it also feels really fun in that some of them would be terrifying, but some of them would just be, he shows up somewhere, someone thinks they're going to be killed, and it's actually, he wants to do something really, he wants to pie them in the face, or he wants to like
one of them is like spend a nice day with Harley.
Yeah, exactly. Like have a picnic in Central Park, or, you know, like it would be a weird mix of you'd never know if the thing was terrifying.
If it was going to turn into abject chaos, or it's just, you know, like read my favorite book again.
Yeah. It also feels like the Joker would get bored with his own bucket list because he doesn't seem like he has the attention span for it. So he'd keep abandoning it or changing it.
Well, and then there's a scene where eventually Batman obviously has to thwart him. And then Joker explains, it's like, oh, Bats, I'm dying, as a matter of fact. So let me destroy the Gotham's water supply.
And I'm taking you with me. Yeah, exactly. Also, I love that you did the Mark Hamill Joker because that's right.
That's the best Joker.
Yeah. If people don't know, the poem is what Olivia Newton-John is quoting in that clip that we played at the beginning.
Yes, and Gene Kelly. They're alternating lines from the Coleridge poem Xanadu.
Yeah. Which, if you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to go read that poem and it'll clear everything up, I have bad news for you about that poem. It's not going to make more sense.
No, this is from the guy who wrote the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. Like,
water, water everywhere. Which is the movie.
Let's all have a drink.
Can we admit it now that we're working on a script for Water, Water Everywhere, disco roller skating musical?
No, it's a synchronized disco swimming musical about the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
I didn't want to give it all away. So they wear roller skates, but they're also underwater.
They're also in a pool. 7 casualties.
Yeah. And we're very excited about it. And I know I was just nagging them, but we are hopeful that Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone
will commit. Yes, Ryan Gosling is going to play the Ancient Mariner. Emma Stone is going to play the Albatross. It's going to be great.
I predict Oscars. No, what I predict is that Ryan Gosling will be nominated for Best Song at the Academy Awards, and he will have the performance of the night, but inexplicably not win.
Because, like, Tom Cruise, I think, was too young at the time in 87.
Right.
And not the right type. Like, a Harrison Ford type is probably too old.
And even Harrison Ford, I don't know if he has the right
Is
energy.
Steve Guttenberg the right guy?
Maybe it is. Mark Hamill. Let's say Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill and Steve Guttenberg should have been the two.
I'm watching it.
I'm watching that movie. I'll watch Hamill and Goots. You know, I'm in.
That should have been their lounge act, is Hamill and Goots.
Hamill and Goots. It's Mark Hamill and Steve Guttenberg playing themselves, trying to get a lounge act off the ground. God, should we remake Ishtar?
We should. And then the whole thing is the reason Mark Hamill's convinced it'll work is because he made Star Wars, so he thinks he knows the desert.
Right, exactly. He's like, I've been to Tunisia. It's not that different from Morocco. We can make this happen. Yes, with 67-year-old Mark Hamill and 67-year-old Steve Guttenberg.
I think now's the time. People
Strike
love
while the iron's hot.
people love remakes.
If there's one thing that 2024 movie audiences are here for, it is rehashes and remakes.
I mean, come on, Sony. Let's do it. Let's do it.
You
Yeah.
won't.
Yeah, because also you love IP and you love recognizable names, and look, if someone can make the Titanic too, why can't we just make a remake of Ishtar?
Yeah. And if it works, it's free money.
And
if it doesn't work, who cares?
Also, we'll make it so much cheaper.
Oh yeah, I will shoot in a sandbox, like an actual kid's sandbox, if that's what we need to do to get it cheaper.
Yeah, I'm insisting we don't travel, that it's all filmed in a soundstage in Los Angeles. I think
it's all green screen.
Yeah, 100%.
We get one bag of sand from Home Depot for like foot shots.
Yeah.
And the rest is green screen, baby.
Yeah, we just what do they do for the Mandalorian? That dome thing where they use the Unreal Engine technology. We'll just do that for the whole thing. That works,
Yeah, that's
right?
not expensive.
That can't possibly be expensive and impractical to use in every situation.
Yeah, for a 90-minute movie starring Steve Guttenberg and Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Also, Carol Kane, if you're listening, we'd love you to reprise your role. Being a 1993 movie, it's like GPS and cell phones immediately changed the calculus.
One
Yeah, modern
iPhone
cell
and this
phone
movie doesn't
technology.
happen. Right.
Solves this movie immediately.
One iPhone, movie's over. Like,
And they also
alright.
don't have the RV. They just Uber to the event.
Right. But the Uber driver shows up in an RV.
And then the Uber driver hits a guy. And
Yeah.
It's Michael DiLorenzo. And then the movie happens as it was.
Uber driver George Wendt.
Yes, there it is.
There it is.
We did it.
Perfect. Judgment went.
Judge went night.
Better. Well done. So you guys are the pros.
I think we did it.
Sorry, my head was just thinking George went night. That's all.
That's also good.
George went night.
Yeah,
That's solid.
My buddy Tom, who actually Andy met a million years ago as a member of the band Shinebox Weekend, but Tom and I used to pitch things to each other, and one of them was the show was called Time Traveling George Wendt. That was the name of the show.
I like it.
And it would be George Wendt shows up to significant events in world history and then just kind of stands around and then goes back.
I'm here for it.
If this was Shark Tank, I would have already made an offer. Like, I'm in.
I feel like Wendt is available. I don't know. He's got to be available.
It's finally time we can say it. Candyland's a bad game. It's not.
Candyland's a terrible game.
It's not good at all. It's not fun in any sense.
No, you immediately age out of it. Like, I think maybe it's fun when you're 4.
Right. I think it's made to be a game that's like not competitive if you're a little kid who can't handle a real, like an actual game that you might lose. It's just made for a little kid to just go around the board and feel like they're playing a game.
Yeah. Whereas like Chutes and Ladders, not only does it have the spinner that's fun to flick at any age, you got Chutes and Ladders, and those are fun.
Also, you hit that shoot at the end when you're like
right
so
at
close.
98.
That 98 shoot, that's heartbreak. That's
a killer.
That'll
That
scar
is,
you as a kid. You don't forget.
That will hurt.
You don't forget hitting 98.
No. Takes you all the way back to like 30. It's murder.
Also, what are you doing, Hollywood, with your cash grabs? Chutes and Ladders would be a fucking great game. Are you kidding me? If you
just do it like Squid Game style.
It's like The Rock and Kevin Hart, and you get Karen Gillan, get the whole team together and
Jumanji crew.
Yeah, get the Jumanji crew back together, and they're literally they're in a building that they're trying to get to. It's on fire, and they're just trying to get to the top. And they're trying to get to the top, and Kevin Hart keeps hitting all the chutes.
And then, like, do we go back and rescue him? We got to find a chute so we can go rescue Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Also, sorry, Jack Black. I don't know why I didn't mention you when I dropped the rest of the Jumanji crew, but we know you're there. We know that in your heart Yeah. Also, I say if we're gonna get Jack Black, also let's get Kyle Gass and have him die in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That he falls down a chute onto spikes.
Yeah, and then I mean the problem would be that then for the British market you have to make it into Snakes and Ladders.
That sounds even better.
I mean, the British version is better. It's Snakes and Ladders. I don't know.
Yeah, why aren't we doing that? Why didn't we get that? Why did we got chutes and was America too soft to handle snakes and ladders?
I mean, I think America's like, but we don't slide down snakes.
And
we slide down chutes.
Meanwhile, England's like, what you mean, bro? Don't.
What do you mean, bro? You don't slide down snakes. You don't go for a slide down a snake on Saturday morning, bruv. What are you on about?
Isn't it? Exactly. Yeah, it's how is he going to sweep the chimney?
Snakes and Ladders, the movie. Oh my God, no! This is the Hobbs and Shaw sequel we've been waiting for. It's Hobbs and Shaw, Snakes and Ladders.
Snakes and Ladders.
Snakes and Ladders.
A Fast and Furious movie. Sold 100%. And then that
Hollywood,
is the
holler
thing.
at your boys.
That is what we do. We'll do that exact reveal where at first it shoots and then it starts being snakes. And then that exact pitch perfect Jason Statham impression that you did, he says that exact series of lines.
Yeah. Well, you don't have snakes and ladders in the States. What are you on about? In it.
Oh, you mental? What if we lived in a world where we got Battleship 2 Scotland and it turned out that the Loch Ness monster had to show up to help them defeat the aliens? And that's what it was about. They were trying to get Nessie back, who was one of their escaped space dinosaurs.
Yeah. They're trying to, that's what the whole thing was, trying to get Nessie back. And then they set up a 10 by 10 grid on Loch Ness
to try to find Nessie, who's invisible.
And whoever finds Nessie is able to win the battleship.
Berg, if you're listening, buddy, hit us up.
I mean, legacy sequels are all the rage.
Also, Hasbro, if you're listening, we'll take any dump truck full of money for any one of your properties. You give Andy and I 15 minutes and we'll give you a pitch as good as Battleship, if not better.
We will, yeah, whatever game, whatever toy, we'll make it at least as good a pitch as Battleship.
Oh man, you want to hear our Guess Who pitch. It's so good.
It's all about witness protection programs and trying to find that missing person. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's a person who has that Mary Lou Henner like perfect memory thing, but you have to ask them the very specific set of questions about whether the person had glasses or facial hair or not, because like they remember everything, so they know too much information. So you have to narrow it down to specificity of physical characteristics in order to find the killer.
Just in time. Mm-hmm. And it's perfect. You want us to make an operation game? The killer's name
is Just in Time, by the way. That's
Just in Time, yes.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you want us to make an operation game? We'll make an operation movie.
Oh, man. We'll definitely make an operation. And it is...
Someone's implanted a bomb inside of Cavity Sam, and only one guy can...
Played by Will Ferrell.
Played by Will Ferrell, yes.
Yeah. Who's awake
and then,
the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And you just hear him scream as you like get too close to a different part of the body.
And they keep removing all the weird stuff that you remove, you know, the water on the knee and all the stuff that's in the
butterflies in the stomach.
The butterflies in the stomach. But then it's Will Ferrell justifying, oh, well, you know, I mean, when I ate them, they were caterpillars. You know, it's just a lot of that. Like he's making it like to him, nothing that they think is weird. Right. Yeah. But he also swallowed a bomb.
Yes, he also swallowed a bomb. And it's a race against time. And the surgeon is played by Chris Hemsworth. Why not?
Yeah, why not? It's Chris Hemsworth.
Having fun.
Who's Will Ferrell's son. Yes.
And it turns out that he actually put the bomb in there because he's the villain. Twist.
Yeah, Will Ferrell's son is the villain.
And that's why he keeps delaying the surgery by pulling out the wrong stuff so that the bomb can detonate.
He knew exactly what it was the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's what the anesthesiologist figures out, played by Rebecca Ferguson, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
And she has to save the day.
Yeah. So we got a cast, we got an outline. Holler at your boys.
Come on, Hasbro. What are you even doing?
And we already pitched you Snakes and Chutes and Ladders. We pitched you Guess Who. We pitched you the sequel to Battleship Risk. We pitched Operation Mousetrap. You don't think we can make a Mousetrap movie?
Okay, Andy, do you think they're ready for the Mousetrap pitch?
Oh, they better be.
Okay, so check it, right? And I have this clear. So obviously I know what it is.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about this extensively.
Yeah. So there's a mouse played by that one guy from Passengers or from Challengers. It's the the two guys from Challengers are both mice, obviously, because they look like mice. And one of them has stolen the queen's, jewels, the crown jewels.
Yeah.
And Buckingham Palace has installed these very, they had all these things to catch you, but they didn't think a mouse would do it. So none of their traps, they have all these ability to do all these traps, but they're too big because they're for humans.
Right, because they're for people.
Because they're for people. So then on the fly, an inventor played by Andy. Who was it that we said it was the inventor? It was going to be played by in the
Danny
movie.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Who hates mice, famously.
Hates mice.
He has to build the traps to convert his human traps to catch the mice before the mice gets away with the queen's jewels, which do have a bomb in them.
Yes.
That's a failsafe.
Yeah.
That's put in there.
The queen is played by Jason Statham.
Obviously. And I know what you're wondering. Yes, he does a high-pitched voice and wears a wig.
Yeah, it's about as accurate as Scott Thompson's Kids in the Hall, Queen of England.
It's
perfect. No notes.
So there you go. Yeah. So that's
5 movies we pitched you this week.
Yeah. And I forgot to mention, obviously, the two mice that are played by the guys from Challengers do have a love triangle with Zendaya. That goes without saying.
Of course. Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah. Who she's part of the British, Queen's Guard.
Yeah. She's one of the big furry hat guys that guards Buckingham Palace.
Who can't, so she famously can't smile.
But you see her smirk a little bit when the mice get away at the end.
Because she wants them to get away.
Yeah.
Because they actually snuck in her big poofy hat.
Yes, they're ratatouilleing her the rest of the time.
They were ratatouilleing her. God, man.
We're geniuses.
Holler at
your boys.
Yeah, we've talked about this if you listen to our John Carter, or if you listen to Battleship, which was fairly recently. There were a lot of people attempting to give him franchises. There were these hopes for him. He was a big star from Friday Night Lights, charming young actor, good looking guy. Like, clearly they thought the sky's the limit, and none of it materialized. And now we don't see him anymore. And
he's on a TV show now that apparently has a decent amount of viewership.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
I looked it up because I was like, what is he doing? What's old Taylor? What's old Kitsch up to? Kitschy Kitschy Koo is what I call him.
Is that the show? Is that the show that he's on?
He just tickles people. It's a hidden camera show where Taylor Kitsch just goes around tickling people and they get their reactions.
And then a lot of them are like,
wait, are you?
Wait, no, you were Reagan's, right? What happened to your career? What happened to your career? Is it all right?
And then one guy's like, "Oh my God, John Carter is tickling me."
John Carter from Mars, not Earth. John Carter.
No, John Carter from Mars, or Battleship is tickling me.
Yeah, he also spends his time at carnivals doing a trick where he makes light bulbs. He
has a carnival game that's unwinnable because he's a dick.
Which credit to him, honestly.
Yeah, good for him.
Why is that not what 90% of mutants are doing? Is just,
I think it is.
Yeah. I
think that's the truth, is that because you have to assume that most mutants don't have crime fighting or crime committing level superpowers. They can keep lights on, and Maybe you
man.
find that one job where you're the only guy that can do it.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's just a dick.
Look, Marvel, if you're Feige, I know, look, we can all agree that I think maybe the MCU needs a boost in the arm, and we're obviously trying to reboot the X-Men. Hire Andy and I to write Gaslight X-Men or Gaslight Mutants, where they're
Gaslight
just a
X.
team. Gaslight X. They're just a team of mutants that all they do is just drive their coworkers crazy by, like every time the coworker goes in the bathroom, they turn the lights off, or like every time there's one guy, like every time he washes his car, the one that controls the weather just makes it storm on his car.
Right. There's one guy who can like just make small objects invisible.
Yeah. And so he's just hiding pens and like car keys
And like
from people.
staplers and
And that's all they do. They don't fight crime. There's no bigger picture thing. They just exist to
give us 12 episodes on Disney Plus, Gaslight X.
Yeah, Gaslight X, I definitely think, it'll be hot. It'll be, all the kids will be talking about it, I think.
You'll get like 2 cameos from whoever you cast. We'll get Kelsey Grammer to do a cameo as Beast.
Yeah. And then we'll, I don't know, like it seems like Loki could show up or something, he's around those MCU TV shows.
What's Anthony Mackie
Give us
doing?
Owen
He could show
Wilson.
up.
Give us Owen Wilson.
Give us, oh wow, you guys are gaslighting me. I thought I had a pen in my pocket, but no, it's just not there anymore. Wow. Yeah, wow.
That's the thing, is he sees through everything that they do, but he's just so good natured about it that they're like, you know what, we're gonna give this guy a pass.
It's like, oh wow, I just washed my car and weird. Just every day, I take my car to the car wash on lunch break, and then it rains.
I checked the weather this morning. It said it was clear skies.
Clear skies, and then there's a rainstorm localized right over my car. Just wow.
We're printing money now. Yeah.
Holler at your boys, Kevin Feige.
And like you just
and
said,
we'll put Taylor Kitsch in it.
Taylor, call us. Yeah, well, we've got a part for you. But also, like I think it goes without saying when you said Kelsey Grammer that he will be playing Beast, obviously, but it will be a Frasier style like farce episode where like
it'll be a full of mistaken identities. There'll be like the door scenes.
Yeah. Like a little Scooby-Doo action maybe at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Like there'll be one guy who just like makes people's hair fall out. That's his like gaslighting power.
Yeah, and another guy who makes people's hair grow.
Right. They're twins.
But they don't know that the other ones work in the other angle. So they keep driving each other crazy. Like one gets rid of the guy's hair and the other brings it back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Holler at your boys. Gaslight X coming to Disney Plus fall 2026.
And again, we didn't cover it, but I think it was implied that Taylor Kitsch shows up to tickle people. Don't watch this movie. Watch A Clockwork Orange. Just if you want an upsetting movie where Malcolm McDowell plays a madman, watch the one that was made by Kubrick.
Yeah, that's
my hot take for the month. And then follow that up with Fast 9 just to get the full Helen Mirren experience.
Yeah. Have them played simultaneously so you get the assault on the senses that both of them provide.
Oh man, now I just want to re-edit the scene where his eyes are held open so that he's watching Fast 9.
Instead of Beethoven's Ninth, it's Fast 9.
Oh my God. Beethoven's Fast 9. Is that anything?
I think it is. I think it's something.
All right, Andy and I have to go type.
Yeah, we'll be back. See ya.
Chick-fil-A, you recently announced that you're starting some kind of streaming service app. Come on. You're telling me you can't pay Nick Cage you've got Nick Cage money. Why not pretend
Nick Cage money.
Why not pretend the Sorbo movie never happened and just pick this up?
Like the rest of us.
Right, exactly. No one saw that. Is anyone going to notice if you just ignore that one happened? But yeah, Chick-fil-A, who, by the way, don't think I didn't catch it, that Chick-fil-A was prominently in the background when the little brother was raptured because they were in a food court, and they sponsored this movie. That's definitely
they threw some money
intentional.
Yeah, Truett Cathy definitely threw some money at it.
So like you guys are super Christian and you're looking for content. Make the rest of these Left Behind books starring Nick Cage in dual roles as Rayford Steele and Nikolai Volkov, the Antichrist.
Nikolai Volkov.
I think that was his
I think
name,
it is
right?
Romanesco.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're probably right. But yeah, why not?
Or, and hear me out on this, Chick-fil-A, don't.
Also that.
Like,
But
don't
look-
make a streaming service.
Look,
But if you're going
also-
to make, if you're set on making a streaming service, finish the series. But also consider the option of not making a streaming service.
Or I'm going to give him a third option. And I think the third option should be the number one option. And that's Chick-fil-A. What if, for your streaming service, you make a film starring Nicolas Cage about good old JR Jim Ross? Like, we'll write it. Like, I don't care. I have no like real principles on this. So I just want to get it made. So I'll have, we'll cast Mick Foley, have him fall off the top of the cell, go through a table, and you can have Nick Cage, Jim Ross go, as God is my witness, he's broken in half, and then takes a big Chick-fil-A sandwich and just and chews it.
Yeah, you can, and then you can start serving JR's barbecue sauce at your restaurants.
Oh my God, tie-in, because your barbecue sauce isn't that good. The Chick-fil-A sauce, good. Barbecue sauce, not
Chick-fil-A
that good.
sauce is banging, but the Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce is, let's be honest here, Chick-fil-A, not your best.
You could do better. And yeah, so you got a Jim Ross tie-in happening. Obviously, you, a Christian company, want to be associated with professional wrestling, especially 90s professional wrestling. I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't want to.
The most Christian of things.
Yeah, I mean, The Undertaker did a whole angle that involved a cross.
He did.
Yeah.
And they talked about people having a right to censor, and that's something that Christians love.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was all there.
Yeah. It all fits.
Also, Jim Ross called a lot of people Jezebels.
He did. And that is a biblical name. And he said, by God.
Oh, man. And as God is my witness. Yeah.
So he's a Christian.
Sure.
Avowed.
Yeah.
I'm sure he loves Chick-fil-A.
I mean, who
I don't see
doesn't
a
love
downside
Chick-fil-A?
there.
Like, that's the thing. There's a lot of reasons to not accept Chick-fil-A's values. And I'm saying this independent of our deal, Chick-fil-A, because, still holler at your boys. But there's a lot of reasons to not be happy with them as a company and not want to support them and not want to frequent their business. And those are all valid. And I totally understand why someone would not want to give them their money. But their chicken being delicious is not one of them. It's delicious chicken.
Yeah, I fully support people's decisions not to essentially vote with their dollars by giving or not giving them to Chick-fil-A. I fully support that. But to say that the product isn't good is just false.
Yeah, it's good. It's good chicken. They're good. I don't even eat meat anymore, and I'm still telling you that I think they're good chicken sandwiches.
It's not better than many people's moral compass, nor should it be.
No, and if you there's absolutely look, here's the other thing. I don't go there anymore, but I also don't go there anymore because I don't eat meat. So there's not really a reason for me to. But I mean, totally valid.
I just don't really eat fast food anymore, so I don't go there.
Yeah, and those are all totally valid reasons. But all of that aside, I think Andy and I are available to just do a workplace comedy about the cows at Chick-fil-A that put up the signs.
Yeah, we'll get the team that made Cavemen.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be our writers.
John Lair, one of the writers and stars.
Yeah, it'll be me and Andy
gangbusters.
me and Andy and the Cavemen team. But come on, workplace comedy about the cows. They can't spell. They don't want to be eaten. They're it
writes itself. I mean, let's be honest here.
It really does.
So again, if you want us to be the chief content officers for Chick-fil-A Plus or whatever it's called, holler at your boys. I hope it's
Chick-fil-A Plus. Yeah. Also, I do think we should get ahead of this now. Would love to be in business with you, Chick-fil-A. Please holler at us. I will take a lot of your money and funnel it into left-wing causes. I think I should just make that clear. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Everything. It is going to be. There'll be a lot of Planned Parenthood donations. There will be a lot of Baltimore Abortion Fund donations. Worry not.
Sure. Yeah, no, most of our money is going to the left, but we'll take your money for sure.
We'll take that money. holler at your boys.
Eat more chicken. I feel like you'd say that to Nicolas Cage. You're like, oh, I thought you were going to do the alphabet song. He'd be like, the alphabet song? What's that?
Someone made a song about the alphabet. Genius. Make it so easy for kids to remember.
Has he ever done Sesame Street?
Oh, man. I bet not.
He had to-
I don't even know. Neither would surprise me.
I hope he has.
Neither would surprise me because I feel like him interacting with Elmo would be. Or we do a live action Sesame Street where he's cast as Bert.
I told you, no
I don't know
crackers
who plays
in
Ernie in
bed.
that. I just want to play with my pigeons. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting.
I'd watch it. Just him in that sweater, the Bert sweater.
Yeah, and he has the unibrow, and Ernie's played by, I don't know, Seth Rogen. Why not?
I mean, they both do laugh a lot.
They have a very distinctive laugh. It's not the same laugh, but it's distinctive.
How disturbing would that be if Ernie had Seth Rogen's laugh?
Hey, Bert.
That'd be terrible.
I don't know. I think live action Sesame Street. I think there's money there. I don't know.
I mean, I think Sesame Street is live action Sesame Street technically.
But like not Muppets. Like
Yeah, yeah.
cast actors as Muppets.
Yeah. I say
And then
reverse it.
Muppets as the humans.
That's
Just
what I was
flip
going to
it.
say. That's exactly what I was going to say. If you got to reverse it. So then all of a sudden Grover, or not Grover,
Gordon.
Gordon, thank you. He's a Muppet now.
Right. And Gordon and Maria and Luis and yeah, they're all, I was going to say Mr. Roper. That's not the name of the grocery store guy. That's from Three's Company. But no, yeah, they're all played by Muppets, and then humans are playing the Muppet characters.
But also, I think you also stumbled into another great idea, which is Three's Company, but it's Muppets.
I mean, is Don Knotts still Mr. Roper, though?
I mean, you can't replace Don Knotts.
No. So I'm here. Yeah, Three's Company, but Muppets.
Okay, but what Muppet is now Jack Tripper?
I mean, the easy answer is Kermit.
No, but
'cause he was
Kermit
the sort of
doesn't have the
protagonist
right.
Muppet, but that's not.
No.
I could see it being Gonzo and have it be Camilla as
It's
Suzanne
three
Summers.
chickens. It's three chickens and or what is it? Two chickens and Gonzo.
Two chickens
and Gonzo.
and Gonzo.
I think that's good. I think that's a good pitch.
I think that's that. I think we did it. I think the Three's Company is Muppets, as Don Knotts as himself, and then Gonzo as Jack Tripper, and then Two Chickens as Suzanne Summers and Joyce DeWitt.
Come on, knock on our door.
Gene Seberg, I guess, not much of a singer.
Right.
And so they wanted to dub, which was super common in movies. Marnie Nixon, probably the most famous dub singer. She dubbed Eliza Doolittle, Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady. I believe she also dubbed Natalie Wood in West Side Story. It's common practice. Do you happen to have the singer's name offhand? I don't have it.
Anita Gordon. Anita Gordon is another one of those people that she dubbed voices, and it just occurred to the people making this movie. Her voice would match Gene Seberg's voice well for the singing.
Yeah, that they sounded like reasonably. It wouldn't seem out of character to have her singing voice sound like this. So, basically, they're like, well, let's find an Anita Moore. What was the name again? Anita
Gordon,
an Anita Gordon type. And so when they're calling like a casting agency, they're like, yeah, we're looking for an Anita Gordon type. And she's like, well, my name's Anita Gordon. And like the same Anita Gordon that sang in these movies. The very same.
Yeah, it wasn't a casting. It was the Screen Actors Guild. So they call the Screen Actors Guild. SAG. So they call SAG and they're like, hey, can you get us the number for Anita Gordon? Like, we're trying to track her down because she hadn't been working in Hollywood at that point for a while. She'd been, because also music. That's the other thing to keep in mind. Like, we didn't talk about that in the first part of this, but like musicals were already pretty out of fashion by the time this was made. So like that's why Anita Gordon wasn't getting work. But yeah, so they call up SAG and they're like, hey, we're trying to track down Anita Gordon. And she goes, I'm Anita Gordon. So they like she was answering phones at SAG at the time. SAG. Yeah. And that's how they found her.
Yeah. And that story is amazing.
Or it's the story of how a woman who was answering phones at SAG conned her way into singing on this movie is the other possibility.
Either one.
Yeah.
Either one.
She went into the files and SAG and starts switching the photos and like, no, it's me. This is a single white female story. This is what happened.
Yeah. I don't know that there's enough to do a whole movie about that, but that's like almost enough. Like there's something there.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Yeah.
The Anita Gordon story.
That is good. It's like.
And it's even funnier if then she's like just happens to either be completely lying that her name is Anita Gordon and then has to essentially like dumb luck her way through getting this job, or it actually is Anita Gordon and they find her, the way like many movies, like they found the person that was, like how James Earl Jones was a famous baseball player in Sandlot type of thing, like that type of stuff. Either one is good and fun, and we'll write both of them Hollywood if you pay us.
Yeah, 100%. Also, worth noting that this then became Anita Gordon's final film. This is the last thing that she did in Hollywood was this movie. So we'll also write that in, of course.
Yeah, whatever you want. We'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're here to do that.
If you need us to paint your wagon, we'll do that.
We'll paint it good. We will coat that wood. And whatever that phrase means to you.
Wink.
I'm just going to say it right. I'm going to put it right out there. I would just love that like there's this sinister like Westworld-esque like machinations underneath, like trying to basically see if they can raise this one person into being live in a musical world and thinking that is how everything
that
works.
Would be insane. Could you imagine that if they did that? Like, I do kind of love that idea of someone being Truman Showed in a musical world, because of if you really had that feeling of like, wait, so you all just break into song and the exact lyrics that you're like, that you would have this weird self-doubt of like, I don't know how to do that. Like, how do I, where does the band come from?
Choreography.
Yeah. Like they're always just kind of out of step and they can't think of rhymes. And yeah, like that would be really funny.
I think that's, and let's just get Ed Harris to play the evil mastermind behind it. He's in Westworld. He's in.
Yeah. Well, also it is all the rage. It's all the rage to just take something. We just did a whole month of musicals, but you just take a movie and you turn it into a musical. So it's literally just the Truman Show, the musical. And we just take that story, but now it's a musical and you add that level to it. But the bit is that Truman is not good at singing and he's the only one who doesn't know how to break into song.
Good evening and good night. If I don't see you, good afternoon, good night. Yeah, it writes itself.
Yeah, I mean, his How Far I'll Go-esque song that he sings when he's on the water at the end.
Yeah.
Like trying to reach his escape.
Yeah, you have a wonderful I Want song from the girl that like he falls in love with, but isn't supposed to be the one that he falls in love with. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been telling Hollywood to holler at your boys. Broadway, holler at your boys.
Look, we know we're starting from zero here, but I think we would love to EGOT if that's a possibility.
We would like to get our first each letter as late, like the latest possible. I think would be the move.
But I do think
an
like
impressive thing.
If we're going for EGOTing, I do think that the Grammy Tony is like that's where you can double up, like because when we write the score for the soundtrack album, if that gets us a Grammy as well, then we're in good shape. Then we're like 50% of the way there. And then once we make Lasagna and Cubanos, and we win the Oscar.
That's our Oscar. And then I mean, I think they just hand out Emmys.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard.
I mean, this movie won an Emmy.
That's true. This movie did win an Emmy. It would have been fun if Hot Frosty had to watch like a bunch of Law and Order episodes to learn how to represent himself in court, you know.
That would have been, that would have been funny.
Hot Frosty on trial would have been pretty
Look,
that would have been funny too.
If anyone from Netflix is listening, Hot Frosty on Trial could be the sequel that we're all going to write.
This is going to be like the Christmas Prince, a sequel every year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
we got Hot Frosty.
And I think
Hot Frosty on Trial.
Because I think Hot Frosty on Trial could be like a Miracle on 34th Street kind of vibe of, you know, we have to, because he became a person at the end of this movie, but however, he still has no fingerprints, no identification, whatever.
No birth certificate.
No birth certificate. So I think him having to prove in court that he is Hot Frosty and having to find the young lawyer. Actually, you know what? Can we just get Mara Wilson, since she was in the remake of Miracle on 34th Street, to play his attorney who has to prove the existence of a Hot Frosty?
I would love that.
This is I still say our second best movie pitch, because our Scream but Christmas movie from last year is good. Better.
Yeah.
But
it is great.
Hot Frosty on Trial, Netflix. We'll write this movie tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll have it ready for Christmas 2024.
I think we already pretty much have the beats done now. So it's really just filling in some details.
Done. It's ready.
Yeah.
Most of it's just selling it to Mara Wilson.
That's true. That's it. Yeah, people will watch it.
You got to do this movie, and this movie is great, but I'm like, what's the one that stars you? Like, what is the dream? Like, you know, Nikki Bilderbeck like gets to like your dream Christmas movie to be in. Like, are you leaving your city to go to a small town? Like, what is it that you'd love to be in one of these?
Okay, so I'm going to kind of combine that. My dream, I would say, kind of like a dream role would be something along the lines of Kill Bill. Okay, bear with me.
Okay.
Bear with me.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm already. You have my money.
Yeah, done.
Yeah,
pitch over. Take my money.
So, what if there was like Kill Bill, but during the holidays, like it just, you know, with the snow, and maybe you know, Uma Thurman's character actually finds love, because she deserves to find love, because that girl went through hell. We all know it. She was put through hell unfairly. And so what if it was something like that, where I can kick ass left and right. And, but then, I actually meet like the love of my life, and it's possible. I don't care. It's possible.
No, I think that sounds amazing. Like a revenge fantasy with like Christmas movie sprinkles on top. License to print money.
No,
you know what, guys? Let's write it. We're going to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, that's actually why we didn't want to say it. That's why Andy and I got you here, is that we're hoping that we can develop this Kill Bill Christmas movie. No, I love this. Like, because also, she's the bride in that movie. So she's set up as the bride, but she doesn't end up, you know.
God bless. It's so tragic. Like, it's so depressing what happens. I mean, it's god awful what they do to her. But yet, you know, and then ultimately she does win in the end, but, you know, she gets her daughter, and that's what she wanted. But you know what? Doggone it, the bride deserves happiness. Again, like her husband was murdered. Her whole wedding was botched. It's like, why not? Like,
just the idea of the bride character, you know, going on this, you know, roaring and rampaging revenge while keep meet cuting the guy in the red flannel sweater. That like it's like she's about to go, you know, fight the next mini boss, and then she bumps into him. Totally. Her sword goes flying, his papers go flying. You know,
exactly.
Like, see, this it writes itself.
Well, and I love the idea of still doing the trappings of one of these type of movies. So it's like she's from the big city and she goes to a small town, but that's because that's where her targets are that she's getting revenge on. But then she runs into her old boyfriend, because it's from her hometown, but it's her old boyfriend from when she was a kid who doesn't see
love of her life.
Yeah, who got away, and then she went on this path of becoming the world's greatest assassin, obviously, and you know, and
she's very good at it and very successful, and she can hold her own. But while she is, you know, taking care of her targets, she starts to realize, love is possible, and you know, and so. So either she can, well, no, that's the sequel. I was going to say maybe it's their then relationship after they're married and happy, and how he adjusts to her career.
Her globe-trotting assassin for hire. I think the and I know that these movies, they love to capitalize on similar stars. So I think the title's staring us right in the face, and it's Bloody with a Chance of Christmas.
You guys are, that's genius. That's genius. Done. Sold.
How are we not millionaires?
I ask that question every year. Like Andy and I have the same accountant, and I call him every year and I'm like, we're millionaires, right? And he's like, no, not yet. And we're baffled every time. And then he also goes, I'm not your accountant. Stop calling me. You're broke. But it's like a thing
Weird
that
he
we
knows
do.
Our finances, despite not being our accountant.
I mean, I gave him all of our passwords and logins and everything. Might be why we're broke. You know what? We should probably look into this.
We got to do some searching.
But look, I all of those pitches were amazing. Obviously, thanks to all the people that you could hear in the clips with us: Molly, Kate Frund, Anthony,
Nikki Bilderback,
Jill Vitko. Yeah, all of them obviously contributed, and some of those we really should write. Like I don't know why Bloody with a Chance.
I don't know
of
why we
Christmas
haven't made Kitschy Kitschy Koo, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I mean, I have been letting Taylor Kitsch tickle me, so I think that's step one.
All right, Joel, let's be honest. Letting or begging?
I've been begging Taylor Kitsch to tickle me, and then going around saying Battleship tickled me. Obviously, I have been doing that. But yeah, and look, I mean, all those pitches were great. They're all available to buy, but wait until 2025. We have so much in store this year. All I'm going to say, just a little tease, both Popeye and A Farewell to Arms in the public domain this year. So I think you can see where that's going. We're obviously making Popeye's Farewell to Arms. And it's what happens is the arms, they stop, when he eats the spinach. Yeah. It's farewell to I never read that book in school. I probably should have.
Yeah, I did read that book, but I think making it Popeye is fine.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, wait for all that's in store for 2025, and that's coming up next week. Do you want to tell people what we're doing this month? What we do every January?
Every January, we look at some of the most notorious films of 2024. And we've got a docket for you. We've got Madam Web, we've got Borderlands, and we've got Megalopolis. Really excited.
Just a reminder, they made all those movies. So just saying, Hollywood.
Just saying.
Holler at your boys.
Yeah. Holler.
Silver Linings Playback is a production of HoboTrashcan.com. If you enjoyed the show, please rate or review it on Apple Podcasts. Hear more great shows on the Peak Sloth Podcast Network.